When I was coming up here in Detroit City back in the late 50s, early 60s, on Finkel, there were gangs, pockets of gangs, little gangs. Each street had a gang, put it like that. On Wildermere, between Finkel and the railroad tracks, there were very few young brothers, I myself being one of them, that were becoming teenagers, you know. Now on Muirland, there were dozens of young brothers. They call themselves the millionaires, and they were really black hustlers, you know, just getting money. And on Parkside, there were an equal amount or more. You know, they just call themselves Parkside, the Parkside boys. And they were baby gangsters. So every time that we would go to the Wildermere brothers, which wasn't nothing but a few, every time we went to the store for our mothers, they would be standing on the corner because it was a store on Muirland and Finkel, a little grocery store. We would go and get our mothers something, cigarettes or something. They would take the money. You know, wasn't nothing but about 3 or 4 of us, maybe 5, living on Wildermere. And if we go to the store on Parkside and Finkel, there'll be a crew of them standing on the corner. We'll get mugged that way. So I, told all the guys on, all the boys on Wildermere, see, man, we got to go to the store in groups, man. When I get ready to go to the store for my mother, I call y'all up. If y'all ain't doing nothing, y'all walk to the store with me, man. And we can watch each other's back. And, we have to rumble. We'll do it. So, because like guys on Wildermere, man, they would have to go 3 or 4 blocks out the way to the store on Fairfield, or a store on across the tracks. And if you go across the tracks, you're gonna get jumped on. Or they would have to go out the way to the store, man. So one day, I called the fellas up. I said, man, I'm getting ready to go to the store. So 2 or 3 of us walked up to the store. We got attacked by the boys on Muirland, the millionaires. It was about 2 of us, but it was maybe about 6 or 7 of them. And we had to rumble. My boy left though. He walked to the house, left me there. So I put my back up against one of the vacant storefronts. It was a narrow space, where the door was at. You couldn't come in there 5 or 6 of them at a time. You would have to come in there 1 or 2 at a time, because I didn't want nobody to get behind me. And I just started throwing, man. So I earned respect like that, They couldn't get to me. And the leader, I tore his ass up. He was the first one. And I was jacking him up, going blow to blow with him. And see, you know, my old man taught me how to box, man. And my uncle taught me a little bit about martial arts. So I fought my way out of that. And so from there, we got a little gang going on. But my whole point is this, you know, America was founded on gangs from Europe. And they still gangs today. The Republican is a gang, the Democratic is a gang, you know. But they help keep the lowest man on the totem pole down, the black man down, or the red man down, or as the Moors want to say, the dark man. So we can't go around with that kind of mentality, gang mentality, even though we're in different organizations. We still got that gang mentality. Well, I'm down with the Moors, I'm down with the nation, I'm down with the so-and-so, you know. So let's just say the white man is the gang on the corner, you know, that's shaking everybody down when you go to the store for your mothers, you know. And he's shaking all the black people down, dogging all the black people. So we can't let terminology separate us. The Moors want to say we dark skinned, not black. The Hebrew Israelites want to say something else. Just by words, man. You know. And that's all that separates, because we are both catching hell by the number one gangster, you know, the Caucasian, here in America. You see? And he's all over in Africa. He's the number one gangster. So the planet or the world was built off of a gangster empire. It's a gangster's empire. It's a gangster's mentality. See what I'm saying? So we can't let that gangster world stop us. And in Detroit, man, it's the majority black. But they're not running nothing. They're not controlling nothing. They let the so-called Middle Easterners come in here, take over the gas stations, the grocery stores, the car lots, the phones. They let everybody control them, and they're not controlling. They're out of control right now. We're gonna come back with another one. Gangsters Empire.